family. Only he or someone like him is allowed up there. So let's say he crisscrosses up, he's up there standing, been up there for days, and then suddenly they play the conch shells and the drums, so they draw the entire population to listen to him. He's up there moving, followed by drums and chanting and fire, and then suddenly he pulls this out of his back pocket. If he had this in his back pocket, he knew the cycle of the sun, the moon, Venus, Mars, Saturn, the seasons, and he knew when every single eclipse would happen. So let me ask you this. If he saw that an eclipse was about to happen, and we were there, 100,000 people watching him, do you think he'd announce the eclipse, or do you think he'd create the eclipse? Okay? That is the immense Mayan power. Mayan power is not based on weapons. These guys' favorite weapon was the educated mind. See, they were favored by the educated mind. See, even someone this young up there could have made a killing. But see this, that is the high priest and priestesses. The military were different. Military were like modern day military. They were fit. You know how they played? They played to stay fit, and they play every 13 days. Look, the people that came to watch went up and stood or sat up there. We've had 5 recreations of this game, so we know exactly 200 fit there comfortably, 200 there, the ruler over there under a roof of stone, the nobility here between those columns. And look, the interesting part is this. All the people that came to watch arrived before sunrise. The guys that played were military, and they dedicated their entire life to the worship of the sun. See? So they walked in as the sun began to rise. Imagine the sun beginning to rise, and 60 to 100 American warriors dressed for gala walk in through there. You know what they did? They stood all across them. Their opponents stood over there. When the sun rose fully, they drew a line across the court from bottom of ring to bottom of ring. Each side selected 7 guys. The 7 guys walk to the line. When they're facing each other, the highest rank becomes the captain. The oldest courts we found to play this game are 4,000 years old. This is a young one. This is 11 centuries old. But in the oldest courts, 4,000 years old, we found the balls they play with. And this might be interesting to you, because the balls we found are between 5 and 7 inches big. That's between a baseball and a softball. And they're made of string of rubber. Incredible bounce, great balls. So the captain laid the ball on the line, and from that moment on, no one could go over the line. No one could give the ball more than 1 bounce. So 2 rules are like tennis. The 3rd rule is this. They had to get the ball up in the air and flying long and gracious without using hands or feet. They could only strike the ball once per man, and they could only use either knee, either hip, either forearm, or either shoulder. That's how they kept these guys fit. See, they learned to take pain, they had their extremities, reflexes, speed, bang, 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 until someone using the forearm or the knee can put the ball through that or that hole. You see the hole? Okay. That is why it's a 1-goal game. It's very, very difficult. You put the ball through once, the game ends, the people up there get up.